Do you guys like snakes and reptiles?
No.
No, you don't.
Unequivocally, no.
Unequivocally, no. John,
Well,
how about you?
I like them when there's a sheet of glass.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I agree with that
Well,
statement.
I was at a frat party freshman year of college, and as opposed to high school, and
Okay.
Only the difference of
well,
a year.
Fair distinction.
So what happened was like we were at the house, and my friends knew a bunch of the brothers, and we were just kind of hanging out, smoking, and then we went to this guy's room, and he was like, "Oh yeah, like let's like smoke the bong and like just hang out," and then like one hit of the bong comes, and I'm fucking like I'm done, and he goes, "You guys want to see my lizard?" Pulls out a fucking like huge iguana. It was terrifying.
Gingerly unzips his.
I was
pants.
just gonna, I was just gonna say, how long until you realized he was actually talking about an animal and
About
not,
a real, yeah,
and
a
not
real
he's about
lizard.
to like whip out his penis.
Well, I just went, what?
How well did you know this kid?
Oh, it was the first time I met him.
Yeah,
He might as well have just whipped out his dick.
Honestly, he should have. I didn't touch it either way.
He had an opportunity there. He could have seized it, and he failed miserably.
I don't.
Dude, it was not good. I hate it.
Thank
Like,
God he failed miserably.
Wait, hold on. So that brings up the point though too, in that how many people like is lizard really the preferred innuendo for penis when trying to expose oneself?
I think the only thing that could be worse would be like chameleon.
No, so there's like phrases and stuff where you say like drain the lizard or something like that.
Oh, okay.
So
Is
yeah.
that-
bleed the lizard.
Is that Donald Trump's new "Drain the Swamp" slogan?
Yeah.
Bleed the lizard.
Yeah, he's gonna pee.
'Cause, I mean,
all-
if it's super specific, then you're in the clear. So it's
Yeah.
like, hey, you want to see my Komodo dragon? And it's like, okay, he's definitely not talking about his penis.
that's what I'm talking about. Like,
Yeah.
you know, I mean,
Like lizard's just vague enough that it like flirt. It's like it itself flirts between like like the charge of indecent exposure.
Yeah.
And
the lizard,
like actual cold-blooded reptilians.
the lizard probably had a more formal name, like 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 you said, Tim, like Kimono
Yeah.
Dragon or something like that. And he just belittled. He's like, "Want to see my lizard?" Like he definitely is like he's pulled that on girls before.
Oh,
and got
100%.
awful
Yeah, see,
reactions from it.
after like he showed us, he was like, "Dude, guys, I'm gonna bridge barriers with this lizard," and he literally walked around the party with his lizard. It was honestly crazy.
So if I was him, I would flex my knowledge and use it to also avoid uncomfortable situations. So be like, excuse me, do you want to see my like, and then you give like the species and like the genus name, like Electarius reptilius, and
Well-
they're like, what? And then you're
Yeah.
like, yeah, like, see, I know my shit, and I'm not gonna whip my dick out. Like,
Well, not only am I about to not whip my dick out,
That's
but
PC
we're
thinking.
gonna we're gonna flex some conspiracy knowledge. You guys ready for today's topic?
Yeah.
Yes.
Awesome. Welcome to the rabbit hole. My name is Tim, joined by
Johnny B.
and also.
Matt, what up?
And together we are the Brenner Brothers. And today we're going to be talking about one of the most famous and, like, not surprisingly, batshit insane conspiracy theories that is in our modern times. This theory has been told across all media platforms by conspiracy theorists like Alex Jones, good old Alex boy. Today we're going to be talking about lizard people.
The classic.
Classic.
Any theory brought to us by our modern day messiah Alex Jones is, I think, worthy enough for this podcast.
Well, fun fact, the theory doesn't originate with Alex Jones. He's not the first person to popularize it. The first person to popularize it is noted conspiracy theorist, famous footballer. He's a footballer lad, and he's former sports broadcaster, David Icke.
David.
I don't know who David Icke is.
John, you do, right?
You're
a footballer fan.
So in looking up ideas and back to a similar note of how you'll find a very original conspiracy theory, and it will actually you'll come back to it via a lot of other more vaguer conspiracy theories. So much like Mangala, he is another one, or the lizard people is another one where the government, they're doing X, Y, and Z things, and that could be any of the million government conspiracy theories out there, and it's all because they're lizard people. But then it ties into Area 51 and how they're hiding how the aliens are talking to us and they're reptile aliens.
So how is he the first one to think of this? Like,
well,
how is this
it is a
given to
long
him?
story.
Yeah, but I mean, like, you think footballer,
So
he probably knows a lot about football
So-
or soccer for American people,
he's
but
a footballer.
yeah. So I mean, like, I just this would be like the last thing that I
So
would think
he's
of that
by-
he'd be famous for.
He's by no means a recent soccer player. So
No, not at all.
similar to actual American football players, head injuries are a big problem in soccer, but they just haven't had their CTE scandal yet. It's made its way around, but this guy probably has suffered, and depending on what position he played, I can't remember what position he played. He definitely took a lot of knocks in the head.
All right.
It-
He
it-
was
literally
a goalkeeper.
kicked
he
in
was
the
a
head.
goalkeeper.
Okay,
Oh,
so
there you
So
go.
he took
but it
shots to the dome.
100% makes sense that like something like head injuries are undiagnosed or not diagnosed in soccer because you can't actually tell what injury they have half the time. Like,
Yeah, exactly.
you know, like, oh, you get like hit in the shin and like they're holding their elbow.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, okay, I don't know how that happened, but it's part of
my
the sport.
shoulder hurts, so you're
Yeah.
holding your elbow. I've pissed my pants.
Yeah, it's not like my head hurts. I feel like I got to shoot up my family, and it's like, how would soccer make him do that?
So, like I said, Ike was a goalkeeper for Hereford United, and after his career as a player
Who
ended,
can you say that in
Yeah,
actual?
well, yeah.
Hereford United.
Oh, okay, so they're not even.
No.
They're like B League or whatever.
Something like that. And after
Probably.
his career as a player ended, he worked his way up through sports journalism and eventually became a sports presenter on various shows on the BBC. It was during this time that he first began to dabble in alternative medicine, which he used to try and cure his arthritis. But with all this success, Ike was going through some hard times. In order to save money, him and his wife at the time lived in separate houses. They both moved in with their respective parents.
Can you give us what was the year that like this all kind of started happening?
I
I-
believe it was like the late 80s.
Because I love the idea of these more mainstream conspiracy theorists and their supplements. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? Whether you're Alex Jones in the bone broth or this guy being like, yeah, I'm gonna rub this vitamin E on my wrists and tell you about how Kennedy was killed by a bunch of Mossad agents.
It
you
really
know?
opens up the mind.
Yeah. Oh man, now that my knuckles are a little bit more lubed.
Now that I can fap without getting hurt. So he was going through some hard times. Not only was it due to finances, but also because he felt like there was a spirit, some kind of presence following him around. He asked the presence, "If anybody's here, will you please contact me because you are driving me up the wall."
in the curt Britishness, where it's very matter of fact, where it's like, "Oi, you're pissing me off." Voices in me head. That's how the English and Irish
Dude,
approach.
Yeah, he could have been interacting with any one of them, like the many things, like a ghost, like a reptile person, a alien. You know what I mean?
But
And
major.
Oi, poltergeist, could you stop making the walls bleed? It's driving me up them.
Oi, it's quite annoying. It doesn't go with the drapes. But no, it's
Interrupting tea
you
time.
keep scratching all me silverware together, and I just get chills all the time.
wait. So two things. So wait, did you give us what were you said the mid 80s? It 100% confirmed brain head trauma, up the wazoo, hearing voices in the head, like no doubt in my mind. So that's definitely confirmed. So everything
sure.
so this is gonna be a quite a rabbit hole of stuff he's probably gonna, and that would explain. I mean, he's perfect for conspiracy
So,
theories.
a couple days later, after he felt that force, the force also pulled his feet towards a book by psychic Betty Shine. The book was called Mind to Mind.
Oh, you know what? I know Betty Shine as well.
Oh, do you?
Yeah, you know what? And from where I found him, I ended up finding YouTube videos of her radio podcast, or not even radio podcast, of a radio show she did in the 60s, where she was literally the only woman doing conspiracy theories, and she would just get on the radio and talk about it and show up at, have her own little rallies.
Like out of her pocket.
Yeah, 100%, because I think she had a rich husband or
Total
something.
grassroots
Was-
conspiracy
Yeah.
theory movement.
'Cause I didn't do so much research into her, but was it like on an actual radio station, or was she like just in her bedroom?
So more of No. She, I mean, at that, it wasn't like in her like a podcast, but no, it was like in a studio,
Okay.
but like an NPR, but
Gotcha.
like we're talking like 60s
'Cause
NPR.
a lot of late night programming on radio stations is actually like really dedicated to conspiracies and UFOs and all that. Like so many radio stations populate that late night slot because they're
Yeah, but
It's
it
mindless
seems
entertainment.
like they kind of just like, oh yeah, you want a place to record, like sure, as long as you give us money,
Yep.
like you got your slot, like don't worry about
You
it.
also have to be really good, especially in those late nights. You're usually solo in those late night spots, so you have to be really good at talking a
Yeah.
lot and just not stopping and just droning on. Even the sports podcast, I'm mystified for them to just continually like talk to themselves.
Yeah.
But it makes complete sense how conspiracy theorists totally would
Well-
fall for that back in the day.
So he went into the bookstore and found Mind to Mind by Betty Shine, and this prompted David to go to Shine for readings, which he did 4 times. He did it 4 times, but during the 3rd meeting, however, Ike felt what seemed like a spider web on his face. And then Shine told him she had a message from Wang Yi Li from the spirit world, saying, "You were sent to heal the earth, but you will be famous, but you will face opposition." The spirit world then fed David ideas that would lead David to write 5 books in 3 years.
That was the only thing he had to go off of.
Yeah, that's
Yep.
it. And the voices in his head telling him, "That's it. That's it. That's it."
What is it? You're bringing joy to the world. What was it? Peace to the world.
You were sent to heal the earth. You will be famous, but you will face opposition. And that's an excerpt from a Wikipedia article, which is the primary source for this episode. And I can link to that in the description.
That
So
means
I-
you got to donate to them now.
But
Yeah.
and I think that whatever otherworldly force, no matter if it's a reptile or not, was actually giving him a message, they're 1000% face palming right now. They're like,
Yeah.
nope, he totally took it the wrong way.
They were like, "Fuck, his CTE got in the way again."
yeah, they're like, all right, okay, cross it off. Footballers are not people we should be communicating with.
Bad satellite.
Let's go to American football players next.
Yeah.
So in 1991, after these meetings, Ike went to Peru, where he visited an ancient burial ground. He said he was drawn to a group of waist-high tombs, and when he stood in the middle of the group, he said he experienced what felt like an electric shock. And in that moment, Ike's chakras were activated, and he, from that moment on, had a higher level of consciousness.
So this was that moment that the woman had predicted for him, that he would be spoken to by somebody, or that he would
think
be
so, yeah.
touched. Yeah.
Either that or he just like came in his pants like in some like weird burial ground.
Yeah, he had a blackout manic episode.
Oi, I bet he divorced. Oh, my chakras.
The facility keepers are just looking. They're like, "Oh, what the fuck is going on there?" They're like,
This guy just came in his pants and is talking about his chakras.
He's naked and he's banging his head against the wall, screaming, "Let's go, Chelsea!"
someone's like, "You think he's onto something?"
So
I'm gonna listen to him.
After that moment, after he ascended to this higher form of consciousness, that started off what is famous. That started off what is called his famous turquoise period. Why? I didn't really look that far into it because I figured
This has to all be
But
named by
This
him.
Picasso.
Yeah.
This Picasso hack.
Picasso. Yeah, he is Picasso.
Yeah, Picasso.
Kako.
Yeah, Frisbee.
Yeah.
Frisbee. So the only real thing that I took from this period was the nickname he gave to himself, which he said came to him through like automatic writing. Like the spirits were feeding him ideas, and he said that he got a message, and he started calling himself from that moment on the Son of Godhead.
The Son of Godhead? That's a dope metal band name.
No,
Yeah.
that is a excellent 69 position. Dude, she gave me that Godhead, dude.
And then if there was a mistake in the process, somebody became the Son of Godhead.
The Son of God. Does he have any children?
All right, we're gonna be taking attendance today. Jimmy here. All right, Billy here. Awesome. The Son of Godhead.
Its head spins around.
It's like, all right.
He just keeps quoting that "What's up?" a commercial from like 2006.
Yeah.
God damn it!
Wait, so this is, I think this is the other, so I think last episode we mentioned something, but this is another Whoa.
All right.
Power outage.
yeah,
Are we still rolling?
We are still rolling. Luckily, luckily it's not connected to any
Power.
power.
Wow.
I mean, I've
The Behringers,
trying-
though, we might have.
no. If we can hear ourselves, that's,
Okay,
that's all good.
yeah.
So
So-
for those of you wondering, we just experienced a slight power outage in
Oh,
this.
yeah, none of this, or this is connected to power, but like that's just so we can hear ourselves. Oh.
And it's still on. Okay, cool.
Okay, yeah, but so this is another like very self-masturbatory thing, right? Like, so we had Mengele last time with, you
Angel
know,
of Death.
like-
Phantom
No,
of
no.
the
So
Opera.
that was the thing. We accused Mangala of.
Oh,
of,
you're right.
of
You're right. Yep.
being a total diva and giving himself names, but that was a very earned nickname that he got from.
This is
from
truly
Holocaust victims.
self-masturbatory.
This is some like Angel
No, this
music,
is but this
Phantom
is
of the
this
Opera
is this
shit.
is BTK. This is Zodiac just being like, what's taking you guys so long to give me a nickname? I'm gonna call myself the Son of Godhead.
Well, I just can't be called Dennis.
Yeah, it can't be called Dennis, and he really pushed for it during his soccer days, and it just was too much to say, during the matches. Saved by Son of Godhead.
So so and then I don't know if it was during this period or a little after, but Ike had a very controversial show on the show is called Wogan, which
Bogan?
Wogan.
Wogan.
Wogan, okay.
Which sounds like a "Ooh, excuse me, sir, I'd like some tickets to go see the R-rated movie Wogan. My favorite X-Men Wolverine."
It more sounds like what a word we're gonna get in a couple years that will evolve from woke, but like in a past tense where it's like, yeah, I'm not wogan enough.
Not Wogan.
Like
So
Wumbo.
it was on that show where he proclaimed that the world was gonna end. He was like, "Yeah, the world is gonna end.
So this guy
Los
is the-
Angeles is gonna become an island. There's gonna be earthquakes in places that normally don't have earthquakes."
This was on British television.
Yeah.
BBC or
I don't know which channel Wogan was
Okay.
on, but
Yeah,
it's probably
irrelevant.
like Dubai by Shay.
So this is like the Marvel crossover of conspiracy theories so far. Like, he is hitting on everything.
Yeah.
Apocalypse. We haven't even gotten to the
Dude.
reptile people yet. He was talking to ghosts. He pretty much masturbated in a burial ground, like, and with electric shocks, like some sort of ritual. He's hitting all the marks so far.
he's just very sci-fi based, not as government cover up based, but yeah, he's definitely much more into the like aliens, outer space, driving us.
He watched
thing.
like an episode of Stargate and was like, "This must be a message."
I
Like,
think that if he was like probably 150 pounds heavier, he could have been along the lines of like L. Ron Hubbard. Like I think maybe what
he doesn't
keeping
have.
him in shape.
I don't
was-
think this guy has the same charisma. It sounds like he was alone in
Dude.
a lot of this right now.
when you look at L. Ron Hubbard, you know he was never an athlete.
Yeah.
Never at any point in his life was that man an athlete. But if this guy played soccer, even if he totally went all to shit, all the cocaine in the world, he still might not look that terrible. But
Right.
not L. Ron Hubbard terrible.
Which doesn't play to anything, right? So if you're like this really athletic looking person and you have these insane ideas, everyone's going to be like, I don't know about this. This is kind of weird. But if you look like L. Ron Hubbard and you have L. Ron Hubbard ideas, then everyone's like, you totally fit the bill.
It's like, yeah, this works.
This is a sign. This works.
You're definitely not trying to sleep with me. Look how ugly you are. Oh my God, there is definitely all of what you're saying. Take my money.
My wife would never want to fuck this guy. Two years.
But
2
tell
years
me
later,
more about Xenu.
Yeah.
So now we're getting into the reptile shit.
Okay.
Are you guys ready?
Yeah.
I think so. It's been a lot to take in so far, but
So
He
Like-
didn't start right with the reptile stuff, right?
He
He
was
was
eased
dabbling.
into it,
He was
yeah.
dabbling. Okay, just wanna.
So
eased into it.
So like we said earlier, Ike was the one who popularized the reptilian humanoids theory
Mhm.
that we all know and love. And it was in 1998 that he wrote the book The Biggest Secret, where he really delved into the topic.
Huh.
Ike believes that the world is run by an interdimensional species of reptile-like beings called Archons. He believes that the Archons are trying to stop the Earth from ever succeeding.
Mm-hmm.
He claims they are the same being as the Anunnaki, which are deities from the Babylonian creation myth of Enuma Elish, which I don't know if I'm saying right. Also, this is pretty much straight from the Wikipedia page.
So these people are from Earth, but they don't want human
No,
civilization.
they're fallen angels.
Yeah.
or watchers.
Oh.
And they went ahead and fucked human women in the biblical apocrypha.
And then we're what they got. Like we are,
essentially,
we are
yeah. And Ike also said that the species, there was like a procreation program that existed about 300,000 years ago.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Of course.
I just think that sounds really funny. You calling it a program?
Yeah,
like,
so-
like it's like this super like set up, organized
Planned-
system that they have.
Planned reptilian parenting.
If you would like to raw dog the alien, please go to line A. If you would like to use a condom, please go to line B.
Get the fuck out, because you ain't making babies.
Oh man, we gonna make 'em babies.
So the idea is that the reptile, like these fallen reptilian angels, came and were having sex with our women.
Yeah, so
Okay.
so it's possible to
Our
have
women.
Wait, but how did we have? So well, hold on. This is
Yeah.
the part that confuses me, right? So, who were they having sex with if humans didn't exist yet, right?
No, how many years ago was this?
300,000.
The humans definitely existed 300,000 years
Some
ago.
form of humanoid.
But then, who's the offspring of the?
So here's the thing: you can only really be a humanoid reptile humanoid. You can have the DNA, but you can't, if I remember correctly, because I didn't include this in the reading. You can have the DNA in you, but you can only really be a reptile humanoid if you have a reptile in you.
Wait,
So you got to go to a pet shop,
yeah. And,
find Tim's lizard friend, and
Yep.
ask him to actually insert his lizard this time.
Yeah.
I think that was a sign. That lizard friend was totally a sign.
That was a lead-in. That was
Dude,
a very
yeah,
clever
he was a
lead-in by
reptile.
Tim.
You might have come into contact with one of the Arcans and you didn't even know it.
Dude, probably. I wouldn't doubt that for
Oh,
a hot minute.
that's definitely some like bougie, like, oh yeah, this is my like baby.
But no, actually, wait.
reptile. He's gonna dominate the world.
Oh, no, but we're wrong though. What did he say to the party? He was like, "I'm
I'm
gonna."
gonna bridge border, or I'm gonna break boundaries with this.
That could be potentially malicious. He's definitely an Arcan.
Honestly,
Or
I,
Archon, whatever.
Narcan. Yeah, he's getting people out of heroin highs. Good guy, but he's trying to ruin America.
People of the year, Arcans.
He's like, hey, opioids. You're not gonna fucking destroy this planet. I am the reptilian
That's my
overlord.
job."
That's my job.
"Who's cold-blooded? We are."
so now I know what you're thinking. Oh, sorry, I missed a part. Ike also says that the species make up the organization known as the Babylonian Brotherhood, which, if you don't know, is otherwise known as the Illuminati.
Of course.
Of course they are.
Yes,
Yeah.
of course. The Illuminati.
They always,
Everybody's-
they always weasel their way in.
Everybody's favorite book club.
Dude, you know what I just thought of? Imagine if the Illuminati was just like a group of people whose name rhymed with Illuminati. So like the leader of it is Paul Giamatti, leader of the Illuminati.
Who else would there even be?
I don't know. That was the first one that
Um,
came to mind though.
Luciano Pavarotti. That's not like I'm kind of mixing up. The,
No, I like
Rudy Giuliani of the Illuminati,
Oh Lord.
which is
Oh,
more real than
So
you think.
I forgot to talk to you guys. Just a real quick little sidebar on the Illuminati. I had a fake Instagram bot. I don't know if it was a scam or what it was what it was a part of, but you know, you get those like bots on Instagram that want to be your friend. It's usually like some like, you know, photoshopped like Russian chick or whatever. It's saying like, you know, oh, come like see me here or whatever. You know, it's just like some
Yeah.
scam, right? And this one I got was some like total lady sort of like brony guy who was part of the Illuminati.
What?
And
How do you know he was part of the Illuminati?
he outwardly he was like that was the thing on the profile. It was like this guy who was posting all this Illuminati stuff and saying he was going to like Illuminati temples and everything, and he was saying like, oh, join my Illuminati like brotherhood or whatever. And he was totally either this guy was hacked and it like someone just stole these pictures from some random guy's vacation and then just said they were like, I think the bots are getting smarter because
Do you really think it's that, or it's just some like elaborate like just prank job by like some really bored people, like who are half decent at Photoshop?
I
Can
have
you
zero
pull this
clue.
profile up right now?
No, I deleted it and I don't remember the name was. I tried to like Google image search some of the images to like see if they came up because I really like there was like a sign in one of like, so it looked like this guy went to Ireland at one point, right? And the photo on the bot page said at the first like they were like at the first Illuminati temple. You know, like, oh, got to see so much of like our heritage and our brotherhood. And you look in the background, and it's just some like I think it's like some like Celtic like post office. So I looked
Dude,
it
it's
up.
so-
So I was like, this guy's definitely getting like
It's a troll
used.
job.
Yeah,
It's
it's either a troll or like I said, the bots are getting smart and like because if you follow their page and shit, or you go on their website, they're gonna fucking put viruses on your computer and everything.
Yeah, I mean, it could definitely be some Trojan horse of that type, where if you click on too many things, you're gonna get a
Or
virus from
it
them.
could be
But
a
I really-
member of the Illuminati, and
No.
I missed my shot to join.
Yeah,
Dude,
I guess.
you should have done some recon.
Yeah.
Yeah, next time you gotta take screenshots.
Mm-hmm.
So, I know what you guys are thinking. It's how do I identify one of these lizard people? How do I know who's walking among us?
Yeah, I come into contact with
Did David tell us?
we
David,
all
okay, so
we
here's
all
the
come
thing.
into contact with a bunch of people each day, so I feel like this is prime knowledge to protect ourselves.
Dude, I see at least 9 people a day. So
Yeah, and they could all be lizards.
they really could be. So
Wait, do you mean you only see 9 people a day, and those are the only 9 that could be lizards, or do you mean that like you at least see 9
Yeah, see,
lizards?
Tim's already picking them out. Tim's already picking them out. He's like, I see 9 a day.
Well, no, or is he just saying the 9 people I see in my day, most of them are lizards?
Denise in my office has green eyes, so I'm thinking she's a lizard.
Am I a lizard?
Dude, I could have some DNA in me. So, but David Icke didn't necessarily give us descriptions on how to spot a lizard person.
Very convenient.
Very convenient. But I looked at an article in The Atlantic that quoted another article in The Atlantic that quoted someone off of alienhub.com.
Oh, that's where you find the meat and potatoes.
But I couldn't like log. It required a login, and I was not about to give alienhub.com my fucking password, my email.
It's when you set up a
But they're
fake
so
email to
trusted.
just go down that rabbit hole.
That's the name of the show.
He
Roll
said it.
credits. He said it.
Yep. No, thank you. Bring out the dancing lobsters.
Bring
Oh.
out the dancing lizards. Hey yo.
Hey,
Whoa, whoa, whoa.
crustaceans.
Don't mention Dan Schneider created content. We don't want to
Yo, that's a-
accidentally summon him.
right.
That's
God,
a 2
you're-
episode streak on Dan Schneider.
Let's keep it going.
Hey, Dan, that's the plan. Get in the van.
Dan, I'm a
no. Your feet are part of my. Dan, you're part of my plan. Dan, get in the van. You're part of my plan. Put your feet in my hand, Schneider. We have to add a part of that like Game of Thrones style moniker each epised.
I'm down.
So right now it's Dan, get in the
I
van.
can't believe you're repeating this.
Show me your hands. Or no.
All right, we're moving on.
Okay.
We're moving on.
We'll pick it up next episode.
So I didn't log into alienhub.com, but here are a couple of the telltale signs of a lizard human as dictated by this person via The Atlantic. Predominance of green or hazel eyes that change color like a chameleon, but also blue eyes.
Okay, so this is kind of crazy, actually. I just saw a Facebook video where someone posted that in the sun, their eyes change from green to hazel.
Lizard.
Lizard.
Dead
Absolutely.
serious. Yeah, 100% a lizard.
Why would that lizard
is
admit
weird.
that, though? That's such an
They're trying to normalize it.
Yeah.
They're
Shitty-
trying to
Yeah,
normalize
you're
it.
right. No, that's a conspiracy theory.
And that's all. Yeah, it's 100%.
in and of itself that they throw, like that the people who are actually behind all of this inject shit tons of conspiracy theories into pop culture so
Yes.
that it just muddies the waters.
Yeah, so that like the incorrect shit comes out. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
Yeah.
And then makes it seem like that's what the basis of the belief is.
No, but if you hear crazy shit like, there's stuff in the water that's turning the frogs gay, then you're not going to believe anything else that you hear.
That is
You-
even like,
you know
well,
what I
yeah,
mean?
you're not going to believe anything that's like if you believe that, then any of the actual sinister shit that's going on, that's like obviously not as crazy as that. You won't even pay it any mind because it's not that top thing that you believe, which is awful, right?
Yeah, exactly.
But this one's true because David came in his pants and his chakras were aligned.
Yeah, you know what? But he was spoken to by the mystics, and you said he was in Mexico, right?
Peru.
Peru, yeah. So he was finding some ancient Mayan shit.
Yeah.
I'm sure.
So go through some more. I'm actually really curious to see if this Facebook person that I saw
Yeah.
was part of this.
Piercing eyes.
This person had, 100%.
Piercing eyes?
Yep.
True red or reddish hair.
Might have been brown.
That's fine. Not one thing you'll
Who
find.
knows if it's natural, though?
One thing you'll find is that all of these are not necessarily required, but some of them are.
I think like if 2 or 3 are there, then like you got a lizard person.
Well, you know how like Hitler didn't have the blonde hair, but he was still the top Nazi. It's kind of just like if you hit the majority ish or have people in your family that hit it, then it all comes together
Yeah,
just
and-
fine.
The next one, a sense of not belonging in the human race. So an incel.
Not something
So-
I'd be able to
Oh.
grab from the Facebook video, but I believe that yeah.
So I think that a lot of incels could be reptilian humanoids.
But
That's my guess.
why?
I mean, it's anybody who feels like
Yeah, anybody who feels like they don't belong in the human race. So if you're not getting poon, you don't belong. Or you feel like you don't belong.
Okay. So is the point here though that the reason why they're actually becoming public with their feeling of not belonging because they don't know they're reptilian humanoids?
That's a great question. I don't know.
yeah. This
I could
I don't know.
this one is actually has a little bit more depth to it. Like that wouldn't. Yeah, because the assumption right now is that these people operate that they know they're lizards and they want to like obviously hurt the human race. So why I mean they're gonna come out and be like, I don't feel like I'm part of like one of you guys, and it's like,
Goofy,
oh wow,
ouchie.
like
Hey,
no suspicion raised whatsoever.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, but at the same point, if at this point they're just so ingrained into our species, I guess you could say, then it kind of doesn't really matter because it's like, what are you gonna do? Like, get rid of them? Like, you're gonna have to have like your version of Thanos come through and get rid of 50% of the population because they'd all be lizard people.
Yeah, I don't know exactly how much.
Yeah.
I think that last one is really like that makes or breaks somebody as a
Well-
lizard person.
Well, this next one kind of casts a pretty wide net as to who could be reptilian humanoid, and that one is low blood pressure.
What?
So if you have low blood pressure, you could be a reptilian.
Is that a
humanoid.
characteristic of a reptile?
This
I have
sounds like
no idea.
But this sounds like something a healthy athlete would say. At least,
Ooh.
you'd be like, well, I have perfect blood pressure because I played soccer. But all you fat fucks are trying to steal my air.
Oh, you fat folks.
You chubby fuckers.
We just have to wait till somebody who gets a superpower that they could tell somebody's blood pressure by walking by them. Until then, I really don't know how we're gonna be able. Unless you're a doctor, maybe we call on the doctors of the world to start violating HIPAA and start publishing blood pressure results.
Now, Matt, what you have to do though is you have to get in the Alex.
Violate HIPAA.
I will die on this hill.
Yes, die on this HIPAA. No, but you have to you have to get into the Alex Jones frame of mind where you have to think about where he'd be like, oh well, of course they don't care that it gets out. The reptiles, if they're all here. I forget the point I was.
Yeah, no. So that's what makes Alex Jones technically infallible, right? Because he says that they have these grand plans, like whoever they are, right? Doesn't matter what group he's talking about. They have these grand plans, but then it doesn't matter because they're so big and they're so widespread that it doesn't matter if their plans get out. So it's like a double positive, right? In a sense where it's like, oh, it's secretive, but it's not because we now know about it, but they don't care that it's out there.
Right. So another one is deep compassion for the fate of mankind. So I don't know how that plays in. If they're supposed to want it, I mean,
that might be a lot. I mean,
Yeah.
that's where they're like,
Well,
oh,
it's a red herring.
We love it.
I was gonna say, I think if anything, what the larger picture they're probably trying to build here is this manipulation angle where these lizards are trying to garner your affection so that when your shining white knights like your Alex Jones and your David Ikes come through and say, oh man, all your friends are lizards because they voted for Hillary. Then that's where it's like, well, of course, like you became friends with them because like they're really good at garnering your affection.
Yeah, or it's like I was kind of thinking of it as like the antithesis to Greta Thunberg. It's like, oh no, looks like climate change is happening. Looks like there's nothing we can do.
well, but no.
Time
but
to accelerate Co-production and my white wads.
Greta-
I don't think that compassion though is necessarily the right word, because a lot
Right.
of the upper echelon of the United States in this conspiracy theory are purportedly reptiles.
Yeah.
And I think it's that they come off as having compassion for humans and for the world.
and
is
that's
what it is.
and that's definitely the like I was saying, like whether or not they are doing it, and this is where you'd have to probably read these fucking books just to find out if these people are these lizards actively know they're lizards or not. You know, you would have to find out if it is actually some sort of skill that they have where they are actively, purposely doing it against you, or if there's just so many lizards out there that don't know they're lizards. And,
That could be part
and
of it.
it's very like and which almost, if you're just playing from a group standpoint, it's a lot easier if nobody's in on it and kind of just goes along with it. For they'd be like, what do you mean? What do you mean? And then it's like, oh, reveal the curtain. You're actually a lizard, and this was what you were supposed to do the whole time.
Dude, imagine if that was the end to the Wizard of Oz. It's like, pay no attention to the man behind the curtain. The curtain opens, it's just a fucking lizard going
That would have never made the
final cut.
Yeah, that would have never made the off the cutting
Dude,
room
I
floor.
wish, man.
Yeah, no way. No way.
So another characteristic is keen sight or hearing. So
Okay.
it's like, yeah, it's
Makes sense.
they
reptile
can-
trait.
And they can spy on
Yep.
So this is a quote, like this is ripped directly from the Alien Hub thing. Physic abilities. There was a typo. They meant psychic.
That's what they want you to think.
I've unlocked the sixth sense. It's called physic abilities.
Don't reach into your physic abilities. You might be able to find out who all of the lizards are.
No, you have to double down though, and when you're a conspiracy theorist, you have to double down. Where it's like, no, that's what they want you to think, that it's psychic. But if you actually go through the text, it was always spelt this way. They just changed it because the PY actually makes it into a bit of a.
It's silent. It's silent. You don't get it.
That's what we use to detect the low blood pressure.
You must be a lizard.
Dude, imagine just going up to someone, just going, my fight kick abilities are coming through. You must be a lizard.
Yeah, no one. You know what? If that's honestly, yeah, they probably are mostly incels.
Yeah. Unexplained scars on the body.
Okay, huh? Well,
Like from what, shapeshifting?
Probably.
how many fucking people do you know with unexplained scars though? Like seriously.
Yeah, I mean, how many opportunities are you afforded?
It's such a
like,
weird. Again, I'm gonna go back to this guy being
Wait.
an athlete and body shaming the shit out of people, being like, "Yeah, you just don't got a good enough plastic surgeon to cover them scars, so you must be a lizard."
Yeah. Wow, you got some cuts on your arms? You must be a lizard.
Or if it's like, you haven't told me.
Lizard.
You haven't told me how you got it. You haven't explained it yet. Therefore, it is a unexplained scar, and you are a lizard boy.
I'd like to see one of these like Alex Jones guys try to work this into conversation to like discern who these people are. It's like, yeah, like I went to like, he starts asking about like the eye doctor. He's like, man, my eyes weren't that great. What's your eyesight? Oh, I'm 20/20, like, and then like he's like, oh, interesting. And then he's
and
like,
they're green.
and he's like, yeah, I went to the doctor the other day and like, I saw, I got like a scar on my stomach, and he's like, what kind of scars do you have? Like,
Oh yeah, I'd love to be a fly on the wall when Alex Jones thinks he's actually found like the actual lizard like proof, where he's just like, yeah, how many scars? And you don't know how you got them.
Oh, shit. Oh, no.
oh, fuck.
it's like no, man. Like sometimes I wake up, I have a spider bite on me. It's like, oh really? Like, oh, are you sure that isn't from your lizard friends and your lizard sex parties?
If you're the next Peter Parker, get over here.
Another one is UFO connections. Not entirely sure what that means. Another one is the capability to disrupt electrical appliances. So, I mean, that happened just now to us when the power went out. So, which
I
one
think
was
they
it?
know.
Well, no. So if Alex Jones were to try and take us down eventually, he would use this as the point that we are actually lizards trying to throw, real humans off the scent, and that, power outages happen because we're trying to dismantle the man.
Nothing is real. Question everything.
Everything's a lie.
All right. Another one is love of space and science. So it's like any astronaut.
That makes sense. But no, it's really anybody that can sit there and disprove a conspiracy theorist. It's math and science. That's the only way that you beat what their bullshit facts are.
I just think whoever, like, I think multiple people are creating this criteria, and now we just got to the one where it's like the jock out of all of them is like, yeah, pretty much nerds are lizard people. Like, you know, they think they're so smart.
And so that's kind of like the best part about conspiracy theories is that depending on who it comes from, it takes a certain, shape and form, but then they grow. And like, as we saw, like, or as we heard, this started back in the 80s. So it continues to, grow and grow and form to the point where you have guys like Alex Jones, where to him, it's not a big conspiracy theory. It's more just like his average speak, because it's in so many other theories that to him it's a non sequitur. It makes complete sense.
Yeah.
I think that so the last discernible characteristic of someone who could be a lizard is alien contacts. So it's like if you have them in your phone, I guess.
No.
What does that mean?
No, I'm kidding.
No,
I'm kidding.
I was like, what? Like,
No.
Lizard 1, Jeff Lizard,
Jeff Lizard.
Frank Lizard.
All those random drug dealers you have in your phone that you didn't want to put in as a real thing, where it's like Boogie Boo. It's like, shit.
Shit, I knew it.
Kringy.
Kringy Mahingy.
So now that we know the characteristics, let's try and identify some actual reptilian humanoids.
Okay, cool.
So, I'll start off with a couple that are pretty famous. So on Time, thetimemagazine.com, it says that a couple of the really famous, hold on one sec.
What do you mean TimeMagazine.com? Are they trying to like get in on this action? Where they're like, yeah, you know what? We're just gonna talk.
They're
They're
conditioning the people.
On the Time website, they have a whole like section of conspiracy theories.
What?
I'd
so-
love to run that section.
So here are a couple famous people that Time lists as potentially being humanoids.
Or being lizards.
I'm gonna do that line again. So here are a couple people that Time says that could be humanoids, and that Ike claims too. George W. Bush,
Yeah, of course.
for sure.
Yep.
So by connection, that also means Ellen is a humanoid, a reptilian humanoid.
Oh, absolutely.
Ellen?
Yeah. Did you see that from a little bit ago?
Oh, you're right. Yeah, they're friends.
Yeah.
Yep.
Henry Kissinger,
Mhm.
for
Oh,
sure.
yeah,
For
absolutely.
sure. That
See,
man was
I
hell
just-
bent on destroying the world.
I just don't know what some of these people's physical characteristics are,
Dude, I will.
which I think is very important.
if there is one reptilian left, it's definitely Henry Kissinger, because
for sure.
that
Or
guy,
Dick Cheney.
That guy is evil, but he just slithers his way through history, and Dick Cheney, but Kissinger spans, decades.
For sure. Bill Clinton,
Oh yeah, of course.
Hillary.
I mean,
Yeah.
you got to be a humanoid lizard to put up with Bill's bullshit.
Who else but a lizard to run Pizzagate?
I mean,
That honestly, for sure, I would say that if there's anybody to run Pizzagate, it
You're
would
gonna
definitely
do
be a reptilian
a
humanoid.
user suggestion. John Travolta.
Oh, that's an. I don't know if he can be.
No, he's
Piercing
He's a
eyes.
Scientologist.
no, he's a Scientologist. He's woke. Get out
That's
of
right.
here.
He's got,
he
um,
doesn't believe in science or medicine.
Get
That's
outta
true.
He's got
Yeah.
Xeno in him.
Yeah, you kidding? Get
Yeah,
outta
that's
here.
true.
He hasn't been impregnated by them reptilian eggs.
Dude,
Good to know, though. Good to
his
know.
Dianetics are off the scale, dude.
He's the only one you can trust.
What about renowned comedian Bob Hope? Ike says that he is a humanoid, reptilian humanoid.
Why Bob Hope specifically?
I don't know.
Probably because Bob Hope was popular in the 80s. So
For sure.
Yeah.
Sounds like it's just competition, and that you're competing with me. Yeah, you must be a lizard.
Fucking
Yeah.
Ike was watching like Bob Hope on TV. He came in his pants. He was like, "My chakras are telling me."
Yeah, exactly. Oh
And
no.
He has to follow his clue.
Oh no.
Oh no, honey, grab the towel. Bob Hope's a humanoid.
Honey, grab the towel. You think he has a wife? No way.
Yeah, no, he's He was married, had a kid, and then
Oh, so
when he
did
got back,
have
when
a
he
son
got
of
back,
Godhead.
when he
He had there was a son of Godhead.
there was also a daughter of Godhead.
Well, hold on. There was a son of
Um,
a son of Godhead.
And then there was a daughter of the Son of Godhead who was not his wife's kid, but another woman, but they were still married when they fucked.
So the adopted
Son of
daughter-
Godhead
with-
can
with-
do whatever son of
with
Godhead
the
wants.
the Son of Godhead gave or got good Godhead from another woman.
That's what we in the biz like to call Godhead squared.
Dude,
He was so upset that the milk industry got to the Godhead.
dude,
Yeah, he already had a whole campaign
This-
all worked out.
dude, this woman gave him that sloppy toppy glug glug 9000 Godhead.
And it produced.
And so those are a couple that David Icke says that could be humanoids. Would you guys want to run through a few common celebrities?
Yeah,
Off,
I'm
just
okay
off the
with it.
top of our. I didn't look any up, but I figured.
That's fine.
I also have where serial killers came into this one specifically, Robert Pinkton, a Canadian serial killer.
Interesting.
I heard that when he was murdering all these women, they were mostly prostitutes, but that the conspiracy theory goes that the people he was murdering were either leftover, incubator, birthing women to make the reptilians, or part of some sick game by like Queen Elizabeth and the American government and the Canadian government to dispose of like body doubles, like similar to like what they talk about in Us and stuff like that. And that's the best part about Us is like pretty much born out of weird conspiracy theory. So but yeah, you get weird serial killers like out of nowhere where it's just like, oh no, they weren't murdering prostitutes, they were murdering
Reptiles.
reptilian incubators
So
that,
do you
that
think
they were done with.
that Queen Elizabeth is a humanoid?
So
Absolutely,
it was
and
it was
she
just a
used-
disposal service.
And she uses them to keep her young, something
Yes.
along those lines.
Ooh,
Yeah.
Yup. Double
Her
whammy.
and her corgis.
Oh yeah. No, she's been around forever.
Those are smaller lizards. Those are geckos.
Those.
The guy selling me insurance? Oh, come on.
No, those are like the dogs from the thing.
Yo, what about Barack Obama? Humanoid?
Probably have to be. I mean, he's friends with George W.
Yeah, I mean, I guess if we're assuming that everybody is like at the top, that is one. Yeah, then he's got to be one. Carrot Top.
Carrot Top is definitely a fucking reptile. Are you
Yeah.
kidding?
Yep.
Um,
Piercing eyes.
Gene Simmons from Kiss. Look how fucking long that tongue is.
Oh gosh, yeah.
There you go. Yep.
Ooh.
And he wants to be concealed. Like, I mean,
Yeah,
I
he's
feel,
got a
I feel, I
mask.
feel like, well, it's just face paint, but yeah.
It's a mask.
You know, actually, when so do you know when Kiss took off their face paint, people told them to put it back on because they
That's
were all,
hilarious.
yeah, everyone's like, no, you're good. Like,
Like,
go
oh.
back.
You were better behind the mask.
Dude,
Please.
I think one of the biggest like accidental slam dunks on anybody that's like my favorite is when they were making Halloween. They went into a rando Halloween store, found a William Shatner Star Trek mask, bleached it, and were like, yeah, it's creepy.
That's where that came
Really?
Yeah. Oh, you guys didn't know that? Yeah,
Not
yeah, yeah.
at all.
from. Oh, you guys did.
You guys didn't know? It's a good comment. No, yeah, it was a William Shatner Star Trek mask, and they bleached it, and they used that, and they kind of like ruffled up the hair a bit.
Oh my God, poor William Shatner.
Yeah.
that has to follow. It was like, you're the Star Trek guy, and they used your mask to make the most successful horror movie franchise ever. Oh, okay, that's cool. Yeah.
Yeah. What about Jamie Lee Curtis? She's in the Halloween movies.
No,
Humanoid?
she's fighting him. So I think
yeah.
I think that she is very much for humanity.
Well, I mean, I guess if you take those alien movies too and put them under a certain reptilian microscope,
I have a
it's
really
like-
good
it's-
one,
it's
too.
the same concept, huh?
Bill Nye the Science Guy.
Oh, yeah, he loves math and science.
I would be ruined if he was a lizard.
Dude, that would fucking suck. Dude, that means he was training us this whole time. He wasn't informing. He was
It
training
could mean
us.
that everything we know is
Reptilian
not real.
propaganda.
Yep.
Damn. I
Can
didn't
you,
even think
Tim,
of that.
can you look up his eye colors?
Yeah.
We're looking for green, right?
We're looking for green or sometimes blue.
Sometimes blue.
Brown.
I thought you said hazel though. Wasn't hazel one of them?
Wow.
I mean, he kind of does look like a lizard.
He's got some extra skin on there.
Dude, he's got some fucking, like, up eyebrows. I would believe it. Well, keep in mind, you don't need to fit all those criteria.
Yeah, just a couple.
We
should create like an evaluation rubric for lizard people. You could carry around. Make an app.
Dude, that would be a great app.
Whoa.
Social
Make
media?
a crowdsourced app that you could just like scanning someone's face would be a total invasion of privacy. But you're like, say you're somewhere and you see somebody who might be a lizard person, jot it down, answer some questions, see where it falls, and then you have a real-time log of where potential lizard people are spotted.
I'm going to make a community BuzzFeed quiz, and it's going to be like, do you have green or hazel eyes, or sometimes blue, or sometimes brown?
You're a lizard.
You're a lizard.
Totally
do you love
not- yeah.
science?
Totally not a lizard quiz.
Yeah, I'm gonna. You know what? I think if I have some free time, I'm gonna make it.
You might have really actually just given a great little marketing strategy for conspiracy theorists, where it's like you can get some people out there where you put that quiz and they're filling it out. It's like, do you love math and science? Oh, God, I fucking hate math
You
and
should
science. And
yeah.
it's like everybody around you is a lizard, and they're like, you know what? I always knew it because they're always coming at me.
Tim, when you create this, just put the titles like eHarmony compatibility, free eHarmony compatibility match, and then boom, it'll go off. We'll get like a huge test pool.
Do you fucking bust every time you think you see something that resembles a lizard? Yeah, I do. Oh my God.
Wow, eHarmony's really expanding the selection that you have within their service.
I had a boyfriend in college who always brought his lizard around at parties. Kind of got me going.
Yeah. I am that lizard. Who are some other comedians? Because if Bob Hope is a comedian, like, imagine Bill Cosby.
I think Jimmy Fallon.
Oh, dude, that would be smart.
Yep, 100%.
So under current conspiracy theory law, Donald Trump is not a lizard person because he is the first, white knight for the cause to be in power. So would Jimmy gushing up to him the way he did on that show, is that a lizard move because he's showing compassion, empathy for the human condition?
Jimmy looks like he doesn't know how to show human compassion. Like, he's always like, it looks like he's always looking at someone off screen.
That's
because is this how I do this, right? Like, this is how humans feel.
No, but that's because he's wasted drunk. In actuality, he's
Elon Musk would be
dude. Elon Musk
yes.
is totally a
100%.
reptile.
No, but
totally a reptile.
and he is awful at throwing. But no, he can't be because he's such an asshole towards humans. The way he
that's why.
yeah.
That's why he could be.
I thought that you have to be nice towards humans.
Honestly, it seems like the rules are ever changing and evolving.
Yeah.
But honestly, like,
he loves science. He looks like somebody who's not from this earth.
that name is just a red flag.
Elon Musk is like, it's like they forgot to change his name when he got off the lizard ship.
Yeah.
You know what it is? He's definitely a hastily put together lizard. So in that sense, it's like he was just thrown on this planet. And they're
Yeah.
like, oh shit, we need
They're
him.
like, all right,
We need him to build the self-landing rocket ships and really fast trains and all this shit. So just get this guy down there and like don't give him any briefing or anything. And he shows up and they're like, "What's your name?" And he goes, "Elon Musk." And then it's just like, there you go. And
Yeah, that
he
works.
just has to roll with it. And he just hasn't had the training that everybody else has.
Quick, now go be friends with PewDiePie.
Yeah,
He's one of the and he's like some like higher up lizard son, and they just like, all right, just put him on there. All right, I'm friends with his dad. Just give him a go.
Even the Swedes say that accent's weird.
Yeah. So that just about wraps up the theory. I mean, really, just stay alert for any potential reptilian humanoids that might be coming in to fuck up your life.
And I mean, we've given you the tools
Yeah.
on how to spot these. So I mean, everybody is now a little bit safer because of us.
Honestly, I just think I have to avoid as many pet shops as I can and maybe keep a plated glass around me to keep that distance between me and anybody who I think might be a humanoid. God forbid they're Harry Potter, and then they can get rid of that fucking glass, and then the gloves are off. And we're all
Bubble Boy
fucked.
is looking more and more enticing each day.
Yeah, we're all trying to get in that bubble.
Dude, I won't lie. Like, I cruised Amazon for a bubble. I would live there in a heartbeat.
Yeah, Tim, you'd be the one to go to like New Zealand for one of those like those it's like one of those places where they have the huge hills and you get in one of the big rubber balls and you roll down. You would just roll down right into the ocean. And
Go
be
to
like, all right, I'm
Hobbitland.
out. Like, yeah, this is mine now.
Getting the vug out.
I go to Hobbit Land. I'm rolling around in my ball. I'm going on an adventure.
looking for lizard people.
I'm looking for them lizards. So that wraps up the theory. Thank you guys so much for listening. You can follow us on Twitter now at Rabbit Podcast. You can also follow me on Twitter at Timmy Brenner. And John, are you on Twitter?
I am on Twitter. I couldn't tell you my Twitter handle right now. It's, I think, at JohnnyBeGood91, something along those lines. Get at me.
Mine's Matthew Brenner with no vowels, and I've maybe tweeted 3 times. So
Ooh.
lots of spicy content for you there.
Dude, we're gonna get those numbers up, dude. Don't worry. Also, huge shout out to Ashley Kent for making the cover art for the podcast.
It looks great.
Looks
Thank
awesome.
you, beautiful. Well, she's not. I mean, she might be. Thank you, comma. It's beautiful.
Yeah, huge shout out to Ashley for making it. Once again, the any kind of sources I'll put down in the show notes. Thank you guys so much for listening. You guys have any last words before we wrap up?
Hey, thanks for stopping by, and we'll see you next time.
I hope you don't have green eyes.
Yeah, keep alert for humanoids. We'll see you guys next time on The Rabbit Hole.